The web of lies. In the small, picturesque village of Eldenbrook, where everyone knew each other's names and secrets were as rare as the morning fog, there lived a young man named Adrian. Adrian was known for his charm and quick wit, a smile always ready to disarm even the sternest of faces. Yet, beneath his genial exterior lay a restless ambition that whispered of dreams far beyond the village's borders. Adrian worked as a clerk in the local apothecary, his days spent amidst the scent of herbs and the gentle bustle of villagers seeking remedies for their ailments. He longed for more, a life filled with excitement, wealth, and recognition. His chance came one crisp autumn morning when an enigmatic stranger arrived in Eldenbrook. The stranger, clad in fine clothes that spoke of faraway places and untold riches, introduced himself as Lord William Harrington. He claimed to be an investor seeking opportunities in the countryside, his manner polite but shrewd. The villagers were fascinated, their curiosity piqued by the stranger's tales of the bustling cities and exotic lands. Adrian, too, was captivated. He saw in Lord Harrington a gateway to the life he had always dreamed of. Seizing the moment, he approached the stranger with an idea that had been simmering in his mind for months, a grand business venture that, if successful, would transform Eldenbrook and make them both wealthy beyond measure. Lord Harrington, Adrian began, his voice steady and confident, I have a proposition that I believe will interest you greatly. This village has untapped potential, and with the right investment, we could turn it into a prosperous center of trade and commerce. Lord Harrington listened intently, his eyes narrowing as Adrian outlined his plan. It was a bold scheme, involving the establishment of a series of mills along the river that ran through Eldenbrook, utilizing the natural resources to create a thriving industry. Adrian spoke with such conviction and detail that it was impossible not to be drawn in by his vision. The stranger's lips curled into a smile. You have a keen mind, young man. I am intrigued by your proposal. But tell me, what experience do you have in managing such an enterprise? Adrian hesitated for the briefest of moments before responding. I have studied the principles of business and trade extensively, and I have managed the operations at the apothecary for years. I am confident in my ability to oversee this venture. In truth, Adrian had no formal training in business, and his experience was limited to the small tasks he performed at the apothecary. But he was determined not to let this opportunity slip away. He embellished his qualifications, weaving a narrative that painted him as a knowledgeable and capable leader. Lord Harrington seemed satisfied with Adrian's answer. Very well, I will invest in your venture. But know this, success will require hard work and honesty. Deceit will not be tolerated. Adrian nodded, a pang of guilt twisting in his stomach, but he pushed it aside. He had secured the investment, and that was all that mattered. Over the next few months, the construction of the mills began, and the village buzzed with excitement and anticipation. Adrian threw himself into the project, learning as he went and relying on the expertise of the workers and craftsmen. The mills rose from the ground, and it seemed as though his dream was coming to fruition. The village began to prosper, and Adrian enjoyed the newfound respect and admiration from his fellow villagers. But the web of lies he had spun to secure Lord Harrington's investment began to unravel. Small mistakes and miscalculations, born from his lack of experience, started to accumulate. The workers noticed discrepancies in the plans, and the villagers grew wary of his assurances. Rumors of his deceit spread, and trust in Adrian began to erode. One evening, as the sun set over the village and the mills stood silent, Adrian found himself alone in his small cottage, the weight of his lies pressing down on him. He knew he had to come clean, but the thought of losing everything he had worked for filled him with dread. The next day, Lord Harrington arrived to inspect the progress of the mills. His keen eyes took in every detail, and it was clear that he sensed something amiss. As he questioned Adrian about the delays and issues, the young man's composure began to crack. Finally, unable to bear the burden any longer, Adrian confessed. He told Lord Harrington of his embellishments, his lack of experience, and the mistakes he had made. The stranger listened in silence, his expression unreadable. When Adrian finished, Lord Harrington spoke. You have betrayed my trust and the trust of your fellow villagers. But you have also shown courage in admitting your faults. The path to redemption will not be easy, but it is not impossible. With that, Lord Harrington left Eldenbrook, his investment withdrawn but his words lingering in Adrian's mind. The village was disappointed and angry, but Adrian vowed to make amends. He worked tirelessly to rectify his mistakes, seeking advice from those more knowledgeable and learning from his errors. Over time, the villagers began to see his genuine effort and determination. Slowly, trust was rebuilt, and the mills were completed. Eldenbrook started to prosper once more, not just from the industry but from the resilience and unity of its people. Adrian's journey had taught him a valuable lesson about the dangers of deceit and the importance of honesty. He remained in Eldenbrook, a wiser and humbler man, dedicated to the well-being of the village and its people. The story of his fall and redemption became a part of the village's lore, a reminder that while lies can bring temporary gains, it is truth and integrity that build lasting foundations.